Recap behind a career day from Addison O'Grady Iowa defeats Drake 86-73. There was no stopping Iowa senior big Addison O'Grady. She finished with a career-high 27 points, along with 10 rebounds, as the Hawkeyes fought tooth and nail to defeat Drake 86-73 and earn a 4-0 start to the season. O'Grady's coming-out moment played out before an overwhelmingly pro-Hawkeye crowd at the visiting Knapp Center in Des Moines. In attendance were a couple of familiar faces, Des Moines native Caitlin Clark and former head coach Lisa Blutter. O'Grady scored 16 of the team's first 18 points as the Hawkeyes were in a back-and-forth battle with the Bulldogs trailing 25-21 at the end of the first quarter. It was a contest between inside and outside dominance, with the Hawkeyes winning inside the paint and the Bulldogs beyond the arc. Iowa outscored Drake 46-10 on points in the paint, while Drake shot 13-for-40 from 3 compared to the Hawkeyes 7-for-20. The turning point for the Hawkeyes came in the waning minutes of the second quarter. They went on a 10-0 run to lead 45-35 at the half. By this time, other players began to contribute. During the second half, the Hawkeyes held on to the lead throughout, even as Drake cut the margin from 14-5 in the third quarter. Drake senior guard Katie Dinabier led all scorers with 40 points, including 7 three-pointers. The Hawkeyes' group of newcomers and returners, most of whom didn't get much attention during the national mania of the last 3 years, are surprising some who expected they would immediately struggle. But the team remains an ongoing work in progress, meshing this mixture of freshness and experience. As O'Grady put it after the game, head coach Jan Jensen, returning to her alma mater for the first time as a head coach, didn't want to put too much pressure on O'Grady to do what previous centers Megan Gustafson and Monica Chinano did against Drake. Yet after the game, she shared praise for the senior big. Football, tennis, F1, boxing, UFC, cricket, rugby, golf, racing, NFL, NBA, other. Home sport, NBA. NBA star slapped with £79,000 fine for saying no homo in post-game interview. Former Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball has been given a huge fine by the NBA for using a homophobic phrase in a post-match interview. Ball, 23, said we loaded up. No homo after sinking 2 crucial, late free throws to give the Charlotte Hornets a narrow 115-114 win over the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday. He added, "That's what we wanted, put a hand up and then live with the results." In response to Ball's no homo comment, the NBA released the following statement: Charlotte Hornets guard LaMelo Ball has been fined $100,000, £79,000 for making an offensive and derogatory comment in a post-game interview. It was announced today by Joe Dumars, Executive Vice President, Head of Basketball Operations. Ball's comments occurred following the Hornets' 115-114 win over the Milwaukee Bucks on November 16 at Spectrum Center. Other NBA players have been fined for using the exact same phrase. But Ball's punishment was even tougher than the £32,000 Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets was fined last year, or the £20,000 penalty handed to Serbian star Nikola Jokic when he was still learning English. Ball's controversial remarks came after a contentious end to the Hornets' victory, with Giannis Antetokounmpo called for a foul which turned the tide and left Bucks coach Doc Rivers seething. "I thought the final play was the ref blowing a call," said Rivers after examining the replays. "This is back-to-back games now where on the final play there has been an incorrect call made." Though the Hornets have only managed to put together a 5-8 record, Ball himself has come racing out of the blocks in the 2024-25 season, putting up 29.7 points per game, the 5th highest average in the NBA. The California-born point guard was the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 draft, 3 years after his brother, Lonzo, who now plays for the Chicago Bulls, went 2nd overall.